No more will you have to choose between the accessibility of open-top magazine pouches or the reliability and retention of closed-top magazine pouches or bungee pouches. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Haley Strategic MP2 magazine insert. What's up, airsofters? My name is Lane and welcome to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsofting field, and today we're going to be talking about something that has really been a lifesaver for me. So if you've been following the channel for a while now, you'll know that I'm really not a fan of chest rigs with flap retention on them. I find that they get in the way of me mounting pouches onto the body of the chest rig like on my JTech MK2. So when I saw these Haley Strategic MP2 magazine inserts, I was thrilled. Now these do work with more than just Haley Strategic line of chest rigs. I will have that full list of pouches that these are compatible with up here on screen because it is a really long list. But why don't we turn the camera around and take a look at my chest rig and how I use these magazine inserts. I have my Mayflower and Velocity Systems Gen 4 chest rig here, and I do have the Haley Strategic MP2 inserts in here. And to install these, it is very simple. Simply take your MP2 insert, as you can see here, and just push them down in. You don't have to worry about Velcro or any other system to hold these down. And they insert very easily, and they are hard to get in and out, which is an advantage and a disadvantage, because while they are going to stay in there and stay put when you draw out your magazines, it can be kind of challenging if you either want to remove them or to try a new system. So the thing that you may be wondering about these is what's the level of retention, because there's nothing holding these in on the top. It is simply the magazine holder, the MP2 insert, which is keeping these inserted, and the level of retention is pretty nice on these. As you can see, I am holding my chest rig off of the ground with it. I can shake it, I can do things like that. I can flip that around. These things are not coming out anytime soon when you don't want them to. Now, I mean, if you're just a standard airsofter, that's fine. However, if you're a cool guy, like you're doing airborne operations or something like that, open top will not be for you. However, for most of the people that are going to be watching this video, just standard BB War heroes, this will be perfectly fine for you. Now, this does work with more systems than just the 5.56 magazine. This will take 5.45 AK mags if your pouch accepts it. I've seen people use 7.62 NATO rounds in these. I've seen people use 7.62 by 39. So there are a lot of magazine choices that you can use with the MP2 insert, and it will fit a variety of pouches like we showed earlier in the video. Something I should point out about the Haley Strategic MP2 inserts is that these are injection molded, not Kydex. So you might be saying, well, I mean, why does that matter? Well, there are, other manufacturers who make these out of Kydex. And the issue that I found with those, I believe STAC are the people that make them, is that they can differ from piece to piece. So your retention can be different, the sizing can be different, the angle that they come in at can be a little bit different. And that's something that just isn't acceptable for myself. I like uniformity, I like knowing that they're all gonna have the same level of retention. And although I am saying some pretty nice things about these inserts, there are some problems that I've run into. Mainly with my Mayflower chest rig, again, these sit too low. And the issue that I have with that is that these catch by having this little insert here. I'm not sure if you can see that. On the Haley Strategic D3, how this clips in is behind the magazines where it's slick here, there's molly, and that little teeth here, the teeth catch into the molly and keep this thing from flying out with your magazine, because if you try to put this in your mag well, you're probably gonna have a bad time. On the Mayflower, for me, this catches onto the loop for bungee. Again, I'm not sure if you can see that. So the issue that I have is that these sit a little bit too low in there. So sometimes when I pull up, they don't catch onto that. So what I've done to resolve that is I've cut up a t-shirt. It takes about half a t-shirt to get them as high as I want them to. And what that does is, one, it makes sure that the insert stays in place, but as well, it brings the magazine up a little bit higher, which is something that I personally prefer. Typically, the magazines end right about here, like right at the top of the pouch when using this for airsoft mags. Now, I believe AR mags, like real AR mags, are a little bit taller than airsoft mags, but you get the idea. Another issue that I've seen with the Haley Strategic MP2 magazine inserts is that what can happen is if I lay down or I leave these empty for an extended period of time, they can start to condense in like this. Now that isn't too big of a problem because I can just put a magazine back in there to help make them get their shape back. However, I find that when this does happen, re-indexing becomes somewhat of a challenge. I find like I really have to push these down in there like I typically don't when they hold their normal shape. I'm not sure if that's just because I'm using the Mayflower chest rig. It could just be because I laid down on them for too long. However, I found that sometimes they can kind of pinch in like that, and then re-indexing can be hard. I mean, it's not as bad as that, but once it gets like this, it can get off track from the piece that's going to catch it, and then it makes it a little bit hard to re-index, which is typically pretty easy. I mean, in my chest rig, as you can see, re-indexed. Hey, actually, I just had that issue that I was just talking about happen to me. It just started to clinch in, and it made it getting that re-index in there a little bit harder. There is another feature about this that isn't really marketed, however it does work, is that this will fit in other pouches to make them hold magazines. So I can throw this in to my Embeddor pouch, which doesn't have the little thing for the teeth to stick on, and I can hold extra magazines in there, and they deploy out perfectly. And that's perfect for someone like me, because if you've been following the channel for a while, I like scalability in my kit. I like to be able to add and take away pieces as I see fit for the mission that I am fulfilling. And the fact that I can now have more magazines onto my chest rig is a real big plus for me. So my final thoughts on this system, I think that while it does have some small issues that can happen from time to time, pros outweigh the cons by far. Now, these can be a little bit pricey, admittedly. These are, you get 4 of these for $40, so 10 bucks a piece, or you can buy them individually for $12 a piece. So while they are a little bit pricey, admittedly, they are worth it. If you're someone who likes open top retention and the speed that it gives you, while still wanting to maintain that level of retention, because just having your pouch open, you can be running and have these things fly out, which I've had happen before in other systems. These things are definitely a lifesaver, and if you're looking for something that's going to be able to give you the advantages and you don't mind the occasional con, these are perfect for you. That is going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video and this was your first time here, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it to get updates when we post new videos. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on social media. Links will be down in the description below. And if you're looking for your own Milsim as Fuck t-shirt, you can get that in the link down below, as well as our Milsim as Heck t-shirt for those of you who are easily offended. This has been Lane from the BB Warrior talking about the Haley Strategic MP2 magazine insert, and I will see you all next time.